My name is Sarika Khushalani Solanki. Actually, my brother and sister, they both were engineers. So I kind of got some inspiration from them, and I wanted to be what they were doing. So that is how. And my parents in India, as soon as you are born, your parents dream of you being either an engineer or a doctor. So my parents wanted me to be an engineer or a doctor, and I got admission into both fields. So, and then it was up to me to decide whether I wanted engineering or a doctor degree. And since the doctor degree were involved looking at patients and stuff, so I didn't like that a lot. So that is why I chose engineering. Yeah, actually I worked in industry for 3 years. So I worked in Open Systems International. It is a vendor company which develops software. So I was handling the energy management system in Open Systems International. I have been working in power systems area since past like 15 years now. So my master's was also in power systems. My PhD was in power systems. So in my PhD I developed distribution power flow, unbalanced distribution power flow, and I worked on optimized restoration. So in the energy management system, the most of the knowledge that you gain in your courses or during your PhD work, so that applies because I did the power flow, the state estimation, and those algorithms, those were the same algorithms in the energy management system. So I mean, I knew them because I worked on them during my PhD, and it was the same work that I was doing in the industry. One of my mentors was my advisor, my PhD advisor, Dr. Noel Schulz. So she was, I think she encouraged me a lot, and when I was in India, I was very skeptical to come here because I mean, I didn't know anyone here. My brother was here, he was in UCLA, he was studying in UCLA, he was doing his PhD, but I was here in Mississippi, and I thought that I don't have anyone, how can, I mean, but she encouraged me a lot right from the start. She encouraged me, and I have been following her, and she's now a IEEE PS president. So if you want to succeed, you keep one person in mind where you want to reach, and then you just follow that person. You see the steps that person went through, and you follow those steps. When she was my professor, she was at this level that I am right now, but after that she took a lot of steps forward, but I am now at this step, so hopefully. Actually in the teaching we have, I mean, there's a lot of emphasis on smart grid, making the grid smarter. So the research that I have been doing, so what I'm trying to do is incorporate that research in the course material. So like we did work on demand response, which is that the customers, they react to the change in the prices and they reduce their demand. So it is very important now that the customers come into play. I mean, the customers, they react to the prices. It's very important because the demand is ever growing and it will keep growing. So the work that we did, I incorporated that work in the course that I am teaching for power markets. So I incorporated that knowledge in there, but that's on the graduate level. But I really think that we should bring all the research that we are doing, we should bring it to the undergraduate level. We should show the undergraduate students what smart grid is and what is like making grid smarter. And we have a project with University of Minnesota, so there we are setting up a lab. So we have like very old labs with huge machines, and so now it is all computerized. So in that with that grant, what we are doing is we are trying to do motor control using the computerized in a computerized way. So that will be good for students. In the communications and in other fields, there have been so much progress, but the utility is still operating in the old same way. So what we need to do is we need to move forward. We need to have new ways of communications. New smart meters have come up, and so these smart meters they are producing lot of data, but nobody knows how this data can be utilized for detecting say outages or maybe stability problems. So what we need to do is use the data that is coming, and then write algorithms or modify the existing algorithms so that we can make use of that data. So that smart grid is all about, I mean, incorporating what I feel is incorporating the research that has been ongoing in other fields, incorporating that into power systems. So if we can do multidisciplinary research, then I think that will be a step for making the grid smarter.